Yeah, real voices, real talk. Yeah. This is the Just Talk Black Show with DJ Purpose. Every Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp. Every story, every struggle, every win we claim. We speak it loud, but respect on our name. Yeah. Let's talk black, we shine, we grow. Building up the people every Thursday on the Just Talk Black Show. From pain into pride, let the whole world know we're unfiltered, unite. Just Talk Black Show. We speak on the struggles, we celebrate with voices from the block to the boardroom within. Our stories connect us, it's deeper than chat, it's love, it's respect.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the Just Talk Black Show. Listen guys, I'm really happy to have you guys back today. Wow. You know, I'm really happy to have you back this week. How have you all been this week? I hope you're having a wonderful week, and blessings onto you, all you guys. And if you missed last week's show, I'm telling you guys, you need to go and watch that show. I'm not even going to tell you who the guest was. You guys should have been tuning in, and you know, you would have been in the show, you would have seen what was going on. All I'm going to say, we had a spiritual man from Ghana who was on the show. And if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and go and check out the Just Talk Black website there, sort of thing, YouTube. So guys, this is it. This is it today. This is me going solo. Absolutely solo. And I need your help on this show tonight, guys. This is where you get to call in, guys. Literally, you get to call in and be a part of the show. This is one of the shows that I absolutely love when I go solo, because I get to hear from the audience, you guys, of what you're thinking. I put the topic out there, and then you guys could actually phone in and say your opinion. You know, more time we have guests on a Thursday, and sometimes, as I said, I do go solos, and we will be starting back up the panel discussions very soon as well. So look out for that on a Monday. You will be told when that is actually happening on a Monday, because that is on a random Mondays that we do that, but we do give you enough notice. And the best way for me to notify you guys is to subscribe. Literally subscribe, guys. You know, so if you are in the chat today, and if you are watching, please, let's get those likes up, as I always say. And if you are new, welcome to the Just Talk Black Show. So tonight, guys, we are going to be talking about money. Why don't we support black businesses, and what it is really costing us as a community tonight? So tonight we're going to talk about money, guys, not just about money, power, ownership, legacy. Let me ask you something real, guys. If we say we love black culture, why don't we always spend with black businesses? That's a question to you guys out there. Why don't we always spend with black businesses? And why is it easy to buy from other cultures? Come on, guys. Then from your own black shop down the road. This is not attack. This is a mirror. And tonight we're going to look into it honestly. So guys, the live call in phone number for today is 07471 539 533. That is the phone number for you guys literally to call in. So I'm expecting you guys to, you know, participate, you know, as well. Put in the chat as well how you're feeling. Where are you watching from? Are you from the UK? Are you from America? Because listen, we're going globally now. We're getting guests from America coming in on the show soon. So look out for that, guys, you know, and I'm grateful for the people who are watching today, you know. So Let's look at some starting facts. In many communities, money circulates for days. It passes through their family, it passes through their businesses, investments, community, and organization. So in many communities, it passes through their family, business, their investing, and in their community organization. In some reports, money in the black community leaves within an hour. Guys, literally within an hour. Come on, within an hour. You know, the money is leaving our community, you know, and good evening, good evening. Good evening, you know, good evening, DJ Purpose. Nice to see you from Queenie B. Good evening. Oh, come on. From West London. We have West London in the house. West London, thank you, you know, for coming and joining the Just Talk Black show. And as I said, I do want you guys to really participate today and phone in. This is your chance. This is your opportunity, you know. So as I was saying before, in some reports, money in the black community leaves within hours. That means we are earning it, and we're spending it, and it's disappearing, guys. It's literally disappearing. Come on, it's disappearing within the black community, guys. It means we have power and we're consuming, but not power to ownerships. Come on, guys. So we've got that power of building, we've got that power of money, but it means we're helping building other communities while we're struggling for funds. How much of you have got black-owned businesses who are struggling for funds out there? Come on. These are the things that black-owned businesses are going through, you know, where they are struggling to get funds from the bank, you know. So this is why it's important that we must support the black-owned businesses out there, you know. And I am going to start opening the phone line, guys. So the phone line is open. I do want to have a conversation today on this topic. You know, it's going to be a very interesting topic because I want to hear from business owners as well who are out there. Why are you thinking that the black people or the black community are not supporting you? Is it, and I'm going to ask this question, is it that I've heard a saying that, you know, for example, let's go to a Caribbean shop. When you go in a Caribbean shop and you ask for something, they say, we don't have this, we don't have that. Sometimes it could, and I'm not just picking on Caribbean shop, I'm picking on that whole community as a whole in a black businesses. It could be that instead of their customer service, the customer service is really bad, you know. So what is it, you know, that keeping us away from spending our own community? Is it that our prices are too high and that the man down the road prices is much cheaper, you know? So what is it, guys, out there? So as I was saying, you know, so be aware. So when was the last time you chose, guys, to spend your money in a black-owned businesses? Not because it was trending, not because it was viral. Come on, when you said spend money in the black community, everybody started to say, yeah, we want to do this, we do that. And then after a while, it fades out. So not because it's going viral, we support it, but because you wanted to build the community. Because you wanted to build a community. How powerful is that, guys? How powerful is it when you just want to see your community grow? You know, so let's get you calling in. You know, do you actively support a black-owned businesses? Or do you just talk about it online? Call in now. Call in now, guys. Call in. You know, and let's go into this deeper. Be honest. Are we harder on black-owned businesses? If a big supermarket messes up, are we complaining? Are we complaining if the big supermarket mucks up? And then we still go back to them next week. If a black business make one mistake, we say, guys, see, this is why I don't support black-owned business or shop at a black-owned business. Is that true, guy? Is that true? You know, struggle is real, my brother. Not only are we not fairly represented in the financial community or system, but the majority of our community don't support each other. Wow. You know what? I need you to phone in. I know you're putting your message in the chat. I would love you to phone in. Let's have this conversation of why you're saying that. You know, it's good to see you in the chat. I love to see people in the chat and put in their comments. Absolutely love it. But let's get you in. Let's get you on the phone today. You know, let's get you on the phone. Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing? Let's call you. You've got a business as well. Are the black people supporting your business out there? Guys, wonderful to see you guys online today. You know, so the lines are open now, guys. Call in. The number is 07471539533. Let's get this phone line going, guys. I want to see you guys literally on this phone, because I know before I even went on there, people was phoning in. So I know the audience out there has got something to say. So the number, as I said, if you can see it, you can see it literally. I don't know if it's on, it should be on your right side. I'm as seeing it on your right side, right at the bottom. That is the phone number, guys, to call in. I know a lot of you are watching. Let's get those thumbs up as well. Let's get those thumbs up. What it does, it helps push the channel out there. This is a black-owned channel. This is where we literally promote black-owned businesses, and also promote many people out there who's got testimonies of things they are doing well in the black community. You know, have you ever gone to an awards night, a black awards night? And how did you find a black awards night? I know I went to one last year, and yeah, it was good. It was good to see the black people up there and supporting one another. And yeah, I loved being there. A couple of events I'm going to this year to support black-owned businesses and support those who are doing good in the community. Are you one of those people who go out to events and support black-owned companies who are running events? Are you one of those people? You know. So let's say, why is it that? Oh, let's get this caller in. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black Show. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing all right, thank you. I'm doing okay.
Good. I am absolutely good. How's your weekend been?
My weekend hasn't started yet, but my week has been very busy.
Wow. Let's get that right. And first of all, my apologies on that. But let's talk about why don't we support black-owned businesses?
Because we hold ourselves to too high standards.
Wow, too high standards. Break that down for me.
Not too high. We hold ourselves to high standards, rightly so. But when there's a misunderstanding or a mistake made, or just something that we would tolerate elsewhere, we don't tolerate it from ourselves or each other. And as you kind of touched on earlier, people will accept something from a major named brand or a major named store, but they won't accept it from someone who is just starting out or just establishing themselves.
Yeah.
We kind of have a lack of tolerance.
Have you ever supported a black-owned business? Have you ever shopped in a black-owned business shop?
I have, but probably not as much as I would have liked to, because there's not that many.
There's not that many.
Well, not in the areas that I frequent. So that is an issue as well.
Would you say it's down to marketing as well? A lot of these black-owned businesses, are we not getting the airspace online, should I say, that we're not getting, or we're not showing up, or we're not marketing right to get online so that people can absolutely see what we're doing?
I think that, there's a range of things, and I think it's historical. It goes back to, age-old arguments. But things like marketing is improving. We are, I'm a black business owner. I own a service, should we say. It's not a product, it's a service. But people don't look to you for that service. They don't expect you to own a business. We don't look to ourselves as a community to solve our problems or purchase things. We look in the wider world, and part of that is where we live, and part of that is the marketing issue. But there are many discussions to be had on how and why we should and could support each other better. And the surface level is the attitude or the lack of customer care, which isn't everywhere, but unfortunately, as with anything else, anyone or anything that is not correct gets shared far more quickly and widely than something or someone that is. So the negative spreads far quicker than the positivity, which is a shame.
So you're saying a negative really goes out more than a positive sort of thing, that we're
Of
quick
course,
to really grab onto the negative. Or when I
we are.
remember seeing where was it on TikTok, I think, where someone was this in a Caribbean shop and saying don't go to that Caribbean shop and don't do this. And I
Yeah,
thought,
we're quick.
yeah, we're quick to bring down one another in the community. And I think there's a Jewish saying, I can't remember the Jewish saying, that basically when your brother or your sister do something wrong in the Jewish community as a business owner, you will literally have a word with that brother and try and advise him. You know, and I'm sure there's a Bible scripture as well that also talks about, you know, if your brother do wrong, then you're to bring another brother and then another brother to try and break that down and try to get that within the community. But I think sometimes we're so quick to post stuff and bring down our own community, and what that
I thought,
does, it sends out a message to the other community that, look, they don't even support one another, they don't even love one another.
right, and that's what I was just going to say. We have been taught to divide, or we have been separated by divide and conquer, and we're now carrying that philosophy through, or we have. And there are generations now starting to change that, and I think, 10, 20 years, it will be a different story. But at the moment, divide and conquer, we're doing it to ourselves. We don't need anyone to do it to us anymore. We're doing it to ourselves in every walk of life, business, family life, everything. We could go off on a tangent, but we are not representing each other. We are not supporting each other. And sadly, we need to stop looking for the negatives. I think that what you just explained, it needs to be something that we adopt. How can you build up a brother or a sister? Yep, this wasn't right for me, but maybe they can make it right for the next person that comes. I think that's a very valid point. I think that's almost like a movement to start. Think of a hashtag.
Trust me, I believe that. Have you ever, let me ask you a question, have you ever stopped supporting a black-owned business over one mistake? Have you ever done that? Have you ever said you're not coming back in the shop? Come on, be honest. And what happened?
I'm trying to think. Probably wasn't over a mistake. It probably was like the quality of the food or something, because those are the most typical black-owned businesses. And unfortunately, once again, as a black woman who's cooked black food for all her life and had it cooked for her, we're all critics. We all think that we are chefs. Everyone has something to say. When actually, and this is on me as well. Cooking for 100, 200 people a day is not an easy task.
Come on.
Catering for that many people is not easy. Everyone's different, blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that could be said. However, I will just take my little dry rice and peas and say I'm not going back.
You wouldn't go back again?
Rather than taking on board what I literally just said and what you put out there, which I think is great, going to them and saying, you know what, I'm not trying to be funny, but maybe today was an off day. This wasn't quite right. Just thought I'd give you a bit of feedback. I don't want to put it out to the world, but I'm telling you. Yeah. But the problem is, how would that be received as well?
Come on, how are we receiving it? Are we going to take it in a negative way? Because I've seen some clips where someone said about a food and the owner started to cuss the person, and that went viral.
Right.
That went viral, So
that's not helping us as business owners. Whatever it is we're doing, we have to look inwardly as well. As much as we want the black community to support us, how are we representing the black community out there in the commercial world? What are we doing and saying? How are we presenting ourselves?
And the question I also want to ask you as well, I think when it comes to a lot of black-owned businesses, have we been taught of how to run a business properly? Or are we just doing it solo and just going in without any knowledge and just saying, all right, I want to start a food shop, for example. I want to start, say, a Jamaican Caribbean restaurant. I can cook, I can do everything, but we've never taken the time to actually study of how to run a business, how to do the paperwork, how to run the staff and give the staff training. How much companies out there, I want to know, if you're a black-owned business, have you gave your staff training before? Have you ever gave your staff training to say about customer service? How important is customer service in a business?
Customer service is almost more important than your product.
Come on.
Because if you do not treat your clientele and your customers correctly, they won't come back, don't matter how good your product is.
Yeah.
Or they may come back, but they ain't going to spread the word.
That's right. You know, and I still want to open up the phone line to people. So while I'm still talking to the caller online, you can call in as well. It's 07471 539 533. The phone number is literally on the right hand side of your screen at the bottom where it says phone line and number. Call in. You know, have you ever stopped supporting a black owned business, you know, and for over one mistake? And what happened? Come on, let's be honest. Let's talk about this, you know, if you've ever stopped doing that. So,
can I ask, have you ever stopped supporting a black-owned business because of one mistake?
Have I ever stopped? I can't think of the top of my head. Have I ever stopped going to? I could say I could stop going to an Indian man's shop because of disrespect. Definitely. I wouldn't say at the moment I can think off the top of my head, if I'm honest. I don't want to just say yes.
No.
I've been to a shop. I've been to a shop before. I could tell you a story. I've been to a shop and it's a patty shop. I'm not going to name the patty shop and all that. But I walked in the patty shop and I said, "Have you got the patties?" And the answer was, "I don't have a patty. You don't have patties." So I said to the owner, "What's the name?" I said, "What's the name of the shop?" She said, Patty, I'm not going to say the name, but Patty something. I said, "So what do you do? What do you sell?" "Patties." And I walked in the shop and she said she's got no patties. Come on.
But you see, this is what I'm talking about, your customer service. It's what I'm talking about in terms of what are we putting out there as black shop owners or service providers. If you are a patty shop and you don't have no patty, where you sell? like, come on, that's the day you have to be shut. You put a sign on the door and you say, "Very sorry. Unfortunately, you know, for whatever reason, you make it up." You don't then be rude to your customers because now you're not going back there whether they got patties or not. And I think that goes back to the question you asked, the training, the support. What is it? How is it? When and where and how do we learn to run a business, to set it up, to market it, to finance it correctly? Not just because my friend did it and my friend said this or my brother said that. We need the infrastructure from the beginning to be able to set ourselves up correctly and to be able to compete in a very, very broad market. When you asked the question about buying things from a black shop, I was about to say yes, and I realised the shop I was going to from I was 3 years old, which is over 30 years, sells every black product under the sun, but it's not black owned and never has been. Now, why are other people able to get the import and export links that we can't seem to grasp for ourselves when the majority of us have some form of contact with either Africa or the West Indies? Is it because we don't understand the licensing? Is it because we can't be bothered? Is it, why? What is it? Is it because we've never tried to look and understand? Is it because it's too much hard work and I can't be bothered? There's a lot of questions. There
definitely is a lot of questions. And what's the solution? By the end of the show, I always like to get onto the show. What is the solution for us as a community, as a black community, and also what's the solution for black-owned business? So I do want to hear from other people. If you have a black-owned business out there, call in as well.
I shall let you go.
Before you go, tell the callers what business you do.
So I'm an advocate. I'm a SEND advocate. I support families and I support professionals with the SEND process. So from getting the EHCPs for children and young people through to tribunals, mediations. I offer workshops on various steps of the system for parents, families, and for professionals. I do training. I've got a background over 25 years in education. I've got a SEND specialism, and I'm also a grandmother to a neurodiverse child.
Wow, many talents.
So lived and professional experience.
Many talents, But definitely thank you for calling in the Just Talk Black show. I really do appreciate your call in today.
Thank you for having me.
and hopefully you carry on listening to the Just Talk Black show as well.
I shall.
Thank you for calling
Thank
in.
you. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Come on, people. Let's get those call in 07471539533. If you own a black-owned business, I would like to hear from you today. What are some of your struggles been, and even down to your customers. How's your customers been? Do you have loyal black customers who come into your shop and always supporting you? I want to hear from some business owners out there. And let's look at the real reasons. Let's break this down. The common excuses. They're too expensive. Let me challenge that. Sometimes we say they're too expensive. Let me challenge that. Small business do not have huge warehouses, mass production, corporate discounts, tax advantage, and government backing. How much black-owned business out there can say they've got government backing out there? I want to hear from you if you've been turned down from the bank or support from your council to help you with your business. So we say yes, sometimes we say the price is high. But what are you really paying for? What are you really paying for? Sometimes the price you say too high. And these are the things that we have to really look at when we say sometimes the price is too high, and get an understanding of why these prices high. Why are sometimes, as black people, we're charging higher price than maybe the man down the road. We had a conversation about this last time where, sometimes as a black business, you might just be you, and then say another culture out there. Hold on 1 minute. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Let's have this conversation, about why we're struggling to support black-owned business.
Yeah, most definitely. I was thinking about it today as well. Part of my thinking behind it is perhaps our logistics services isn't streamlined yet. In a way that how Amazon and other being successful courier companies, or where you can order things from online, or you can have that next day delivery service, or even across the space for maybe 2 or 3 days, where I have purchased something from your online business owner.
So can I just ask you to speak up a little bit louder? We're just struggling to hear you a little bit. If you could just come closer.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, try it again.
I'll take off my headphones 1 second. Hello, how's this?
That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
Cool. I'll start again. So I was having a thought today regarding the streamlining of logistics. I think we're still premature in that area. So as you may, if I'm speaking from ordering stuff online from a black business owner, it can take around maybe 5 to 7 days, rather than leaning on the convenience of a leading e-commerce store like Amazon, which can take between next day delivery to 1 or 2 days to be able to have your items. So I do think maybe we need to start with a personalized courier service to try and lean towards competing against that. So maybe it could be 2 to 3 days max, and then moving from there. That's part of a personal opinion for a lot of business owners that do sell their products online and do want to move fast and expand their their growth as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is basically where you're trying to sell something online, it might take you 5 to 7 days to literally get that product, and then to ship it out. You want that sort of Amazon 2 days or next day delivery sort of service.
Definitely. So I do think that there's a problem and solution behind it, and how we can try and capitalize on it. If I'm being honest, but I will need to do some kind of market research to see if there is a demand for such a thing, and if we can work with various business owners to try and achieve that goal, and improve the turnaround for supporting within our community, because we do rely on convenience very easily, if we're being honest. So if there is a like a shop which is black owned, sometimes they don't always have the products that we need, so we just straight away, go to the nearest, store, whether it be, Tesco's, Express, Sainsbury's local, or your local sweet shop. So we do need to kind of start with those foundations to, be able to lean towards ourselves. So that's my take on it. What do you think?
No, definitely. I think you're 100% right. We do need our own logistics service. I work in logistics. I can say and understand where you're coming from. That delivery service of getting the product out as quick as possible, so you can make your sales, and you're not waiting on stocks where people might want that stock and you're out of that stock because you can't get the suppliers quick enough. So I do 100% agree with you. I also think it's sometimes the marketing. I think to have that logistic, you need to have a website that is promoting black-owned business as well. So we can find these black-owned businesses and we're not just scattered all over the place. I think that's very important to have that place like at Amazon. I know there's companies out there that do have these websites that are promoting black-owned businesses, but I think our marketing within the black community needs to be a lot more better. I think the marketing is not pushed out as much as it should be pushed out to have a big campaign of supporting black-owned business. I know they say pound days and these other things, but I think education is important.
Mm-hmm.
Within our community, they are very united in what they're doing. So if you see, say for example, I'm not going to say a coach out there, just call a coach out there, that might buy a shop.
Yeah.
And when they buy the shop, the electrician is their uncle. The carpenter is their father's brother. They keep it within their family and build that business. And then when that shop opens now, the brother's working there, the sister's working there, the auntie's working there. So they have that mentality of building within the community. And then next 2 years, they've now built a shop down the road. They've opened up another shop or another shop in a different place, maybe in North or East London.
I've seen that method. They train one of their staff inside the shop to then know how to run the business, and then, as you're saying, that's when they open up the next one, and then they pay it forward to the next people that work in the shop as well.
Yeah. I've definitely seen that. I've seen some of them who open a shop and then in the night time you go to the petrol station and then you see them working in the petrol station. And you're thinking, what's going on here? I just see you at the shop. Or they're working at that shop and then 3 hours later they're working down the shop down the road. So I feel that as a black community, we need to build that. And as people always say, it starts from the home. What are we teaching kids about finance and also about community? Are we talking about community as a black community in our house, or are we just talking about family? How much conversation do we have about supporting one another as a community in our household? I think that's where it starts from as well. Supporting your own, supporting people that look like you, So definitely logistic, what you're saying is very important, absolutely important that we do need that. But I think before we even get to that step as well, there needs to be that education,
No, most definitely.
So what is it that you do? You want to say what your business you do? So, promote your business. Come on.
I'm not currently up and running yet, so I am building a startup on the side. So I'm venturing into the subscription video on demand industry. So similar to Netflix and Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Even it is a beast of a business to run, so having to go through all of the legwork first. So
yep.
I will be doing a lot of promotion and marketing in the near future. But yeah, that's what I'll.
Okay. Definitely. When you get that up and running, just give me a shout. Take my number. You got my number. Give me a shout, and we'll promote it on the show for you. We'll put it on the show for you. Promote it for you.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
But appreciate you calling in definitely today. I really love that you appreciate it. And I think what you're saying, definitely logistic is the way, and we do need to have a warehouse where we can supply quickly. I mean, from different countries like Africa, Jamaica as well, and get those products in quickly as well. There's always a delay and it takes so long to get them in. But I just think that's maybe because we're not, lack of education as well, that we need to study of how these things work, how these things operate. we really need to dive deep in that, and someone can open up that doorway for us as well to get these products in as quick as possible, because it can be done. It can be done. Other people are doing it, you know. But yeah, definitely thank you for calling. Is there anything else you'd like to say today?
That was it, really. That's all I had to say, to be honest.
Definitely appreciate you calling in today. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I love that, what you were talking about. 100% appreciate your love and your support. I saw your thing upon the Just Talk Black show. So thank you for calling in.
You too.
All right, take care. Bye. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show.
Hello, DJ. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, very well. It's lovely to hear your voice. I was on the show not so long ago, as you know.
Yep.
And I'm really interested in the subject that you're talking about this evening.
No, you left me a voice note. I'm really happy. I'm really, you got a lot. Come on, let's have this conversation, because I know you've got a lot to say. I know you've got a lot to say when it comes down to this subject.
Yeah, indeed. Maybe I'd like to start with the lovely viewers, the listeners we've had this evening already. They've raised so many great points that resonate with myself. And being a business person, even up to today, I was saying to my sister, what's wrong with our Black people? What's wrong with our community? Because I do quite a lot of pop-ups and events. And the last 3 I've done in large corporate buildings and locations has really rocked my boat.
Yeah.
Because one, there's a lot of Black people who work in corporate. I was quite surprised, to be honest, in these.
Yeah. Could I just ask you one thing quickly? I know you're probably listening to yourself in the background. Is it all right if you just turn down the volume?
Yes.
Sorry. We want to hear you clear. We want to hear you clear.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thanks. I know you like hearing it.
Wonderful. But you.
Oh, she's cut off there. All right. If you could call back in, caller. I know it cut off. Please call back in. Let's have that conversation, because I know you text me today about this conversation. It's something that you definitely want to have. So the number is 07471539533. Good to see some of the texts in the chat as well. If you are new to the Just Talk Black channel, please subscribe, help this channel to grow. We are growing as a community, and this is what I love to see, that we are absolutely growing out there. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show.
Hello.
Hello. If you could turn down your volume in the background, because I could hear the show and it's echoing, please.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me try and mute. Let me try and mute this. Hold on. I can't mute it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I think it's muted now.
I think it's muted. Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello there. Hi there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just going to add my little comment, which is just that I feel like it's a generational thing as well. It isn't just a cultural thing.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of the younger people have different ways of working, and that a lot of the older people are perhaps resistant to these new ideas, don't want to come on board. So not only is it the cultural thing, but it's the generational thing as well. That doesn't help us. I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of super young people don't want to work with people that are, say, 40, 50 plus. A lot of 50-year-olds, the older people know how they used to do things.
Yep.
And they don't really want to embrace the newer ways of working. And I think that can hold them back, and it can hold the younger people back as well, because they think they're trying something and they're really reinventing the wheel. So that's the other thing, is that we don't really learn from our cultures, our generations. That I did something recently where I had younger people on a podcast interviewing older people. And I think they were quite surprised to hear some of the things that the older people had done back before there was no social media, no internet, how they worked on their company and grew their businesses from the ground up. And that is something we can definitely do, is learn from each other
Yeah.
in terms of our generation. And maybe it is going back to what they said before about some of the Asian shops and they help each other, etc. But like I've been in an event space, newly in the event space. I came from the TV world. I started to bring some of my TV commercial sort of knowledge into the event space, and
Yeah.
a nearby local event company started to say things behind our back. And we were like, we're really shocked. We're super new to this. We're not interfering on what they're doing. We're not in the, they do something, we do something completely different, but we're both doing events, but we have a different target audience. And they started saying things about us online. We were like, this is bizarre. And they are our own people. They weren't even coming to us and saying, this is happening. They were coming to other people and saying, oh, don't attend their event. And it was crazy. Like,
Wow.
in the space of a year, we had raised our profile. Like, when you search for like Black charities in our area, we're like the #1 group that comes up because we hit the ground running with a lot of, with a lot of social media, a lot of events and pop-ups. We embraced things like the newspapers. We went online. We even had a little bit on the TV. We just did loads of things to raise the profile of what we were doing,
Yeah.
and to find another charity in our own borough trying to tear us down was quite shocking. We were obviously very naive to all this stuff, and I think that to have all that in the business world is not good to hear.
So what you're saying is that your own people sort of going behind your back and putting us down as well.
Who do they think they are? Who do they think they are? Don't attend their thing. Like, they think they're something special. And all we were doing is we were just doing things in a new way of doing things.
Yep.
Embracing social media, doing just, we've got the new Black branding. We've got a nice website. We've got a newsletter that comes out regularly every month, a newsletter of all the things that are happening in our area. So we're not doing things that are breaking the bank. We are, grassroots, and we're, trying to connect people. One of our ethos is actually to connect the diaspora. But even that seems to be something that they didn't like to hear. So it is quite sad, that we're trying our best. We have an event this weekend happening in Hammersmith at a brand new building. And again, we're trying to pull different events groups and people together to run this Women Oh Wonderful event that we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we've had to do this in Hammersmith because some of the challenges we faced in our own borough, particularly with this particular group, was a little bit challenging, and the fact that it's another group, from our own community, it wasn't a different community. It was somebody who saw us doing well, who didn't like it. That's not great.
And
hear,
that can happen. And I'm going to put it out there. That can happen in any community. That can happen.
Yes.
And
But do you think the other people would be like? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it does happen, but I felt like they could have reached out to us and said, "How are you doing what you're doing?
Definitely.
How are you doing so well? Can we work together on something? Can we partner?"
Definitely. And that's where I think the lack of education comes in it as well, because of we're always taught. I'm not going to say we're always taught, but it's out there that divide and conquer. So instead of us building each other,
let's try and squash these people. And we were like, what?
Yeah.
We're not trying to do anything. We're not interfering with what you're doing. We did something completely new. Why are we getting this reaction? But I always remember my mum or my grandmother say that people don't stone trees that don't bear fruit. They only stone trees that bear fruit.
Come on. If you're not doing something right, then if everybody's going quiet, then you're not doing enough. And when you start going and walking in your purpose, you'll always get people fighting against you. Always. And it's just
I guess that's the case. But yeah, it's sad to hear.
It is sad, and it is sad as a community hear that, but I just think it's just lack of education. I think this needs to be something that is not going to be taught in the schools, because the school don't want us to do well as a community. They're not going to teach us to love and spread that love. I think it's something that needs to always start in the home. I think we need our own schools that are teaching this stuff. and even Saturday schools where we're teaching our young people to love one another, that this is your brother, this is your sister, you are king, you are queens, and teaching that love and helping about what the Jewish people do is building up one another. We don't tear down one another, we build up one another. And I think that's very important. What is it that you exactly do? Can I ask you exactly what business you have?
Yeah, I've got two. I have a production company. It's a TV production company.
Yep.
So we're working in television with people like BBC, Sky, various channels. I worked for Twitter UK for a short time as a lead video producer. And then I have a charity on the side, which is a community interest company, and it's called the Caribbean African Collective in Ealing.
Yep.
And CASE is our short name. And CASE basically exists. We do events, we do pop-ups, we support and do loads of training for young people in terms of media training, educating them on, things like, social media, podcasting, TV.
Wow.
We do a lot of like media related stuff, but we also do heritage. We do a lot of documenting your day. A project where we get people to interview their elders and write their stories up. We've got a couple of books. Case.org.uk. You can see a lot of what we've done on there, and you can sort of, you're able to go onto Amazon and buy some of the books that we've produced. And I think the books have been the things that have raised awareness of CASE as well. We were on BBC local radio, on BBC television at one point, because we're fundraising for a space in our borough. So we've done loads of things, and I think because we have media connections, one of the girls in our team was a journalist. She worked for the Financial Times.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of connections that I think help us to kind of educate and communicate effectively out there. And I think that maybe that's what was getting us noticed in certain spaces.
Yeah. Okay, appreciate that. All right, thank you. And I'm gonna have to go because we got callers calling in, but I really do appreciate you. If you are, can you just put your social media in the chat for us? That would be absolutely wonderful if you can do that for me. Just put your company.
Oh, sorry, was I on the radio or not really?
You're live on YouTube. You're actually live on YouTube.
Goodness, sorry, I didn't realize.
So if you go into YouTube, and find Just Talk Black, you will actually see it is live right now. We are absolutely doing this. So where you're phoning in, we are not a radio station. We are more of a TV show on YouTube, and we're on LinkedIn and stuff. So just go check us out. Just Talk Black.
I was watching, but I muted it because I was talking to you.
Wow. So go in the chat and do me a favor, put your company in there. Let's support you. And that's what we are, and that's what it's about. So please do that for us. Really would appreciate that.
Will do. Thank you very much, and great talk.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
All right then. Take care. Bye.
Bye. So guys, please call in. This is the number for you guys. If you want to call in, please, guys, call in on this number. We are interested to get you guys on. I am going to leave that number there for literally a minute, guys. Scan that number, quickly take that number down, and we get you phoning in. So that is the number, guys. Please call in. I know we had a few callers who was calling in. If you can call back in, it would be lovely. We have a caller. Hello, welcome back to the Just Talk Black show. How are you doing today? So you got cut off, the phone cut off.
Yes, indeed, DJ. Yeah, I'm okay. Yes, our phone died. I don't know why.
Sorry, let me just hold you there 1 minute. If you could wait until the callers come off the line, and then I will let you guys know. I know we're getting a lot of calls and people that want to be talked on the show today. I will let you know when the next caller to call in. So if I am literally talking to someone, please, we cannot take all the calls at the same time. So I will let you know when to call in. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, DJ. So what I was previously saying was my shock to how our black people behave in a corporate setting.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Well, my shock was, I think initially, I hadn't seen so many black brothers and sisters, suits in corporate setting in senior positions. And my shock was they would walk past me with their heads down and just scully away from my store, and then they'll go to a white person's store and stand up there and talk. And when it first started to happen, I was like, am I seeing right? Because I always pride myself on being professional, being correct, a nice warm welcome, a lovely smile, would you like to come and taste Beyond Honey? And the reaction was shocking.
Come on.
Yeah. And when it happened the first time and then the second time, I was like, I need to assess myself. Is it something I'm not doing right or whatever? But it was actually a Nigerian security guard who pulled me aside at the last one and said, my sister, it's not you. This is how they behave with every black vendor who comes into the building. And that threw me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So why do you think people are acting like that? Why do you think our black community are doing that? What do you think it is?
I feel it's like not wanting to associate with a black vendor. That's how I've taken it, as if it's not that they obviously can't afford it. We're asking them to taste the product. And that absolute no support just seems to me they don't want to be seen. They don't want their colleagues to see that they're supporting a black vendor.
Wow. Come on.
Yeah. It is shocking. And I got quite upset about it the last time, and there was a black director, and I said, would you like to come and taste Beyond Honey? No. I said, would you like to tell me why not? Because I need to know. And he said to me, I don't do things like that. And I said, things like what exactly? What, am I asking you to jump off a cliff or rob a bank? What?
Yeah.
And he goes, no, it just wouldn't look good for me.
Come on. How deep is this? Just stop there 1 minute. I'm going to ask callers, please, can you call in when I ask you to? Because I can't take everybody call. I know you all got something to say, and I will be definitely doing part 2 of this, but I will let you know once I finish with the caller. Then I will say the next caller can call in. I cannot literally take 2 calls at the same time. I would love to do that. I mean, it's something that we are definitely working on to do, so we can have more callers on at the same time. But sorry, let me let you go back to what you were saying. So it's something that you think that the black community, that we struggle when we see our own doing something, that we don't support one another. And is that something you feel? And I know people say this is like generation going backwards, and but don't there has to be a time that we just say, okay, this happened in the past and we're not forgetting about what happened in this generation sort of thing. But what are we doing now? Because my thing's always about solution. My thing's always about what can we do now to make that change? What can we do right now? Let's forget about what happened. I'm not saying let's forget about what happened with the slavery and all of that. And it's a generation. Cause I get that, and I get that. But how much years can we go on saying the same old thing?
Exactly.
There has to be a time when we say, what? No. We need to come to a community. We need to come together as a community, and we need to start education, teaching these sort of things of supporting love, because nobody ain't coming to save us as a black community. Nobody ain't coming to save us, and we keep on looking them and going back to what happened in slavery days, and it's a generation thing. I get that, and you have to understand your history to where you come from, but there has to be a time that we take a grip and say, well, enough is enough. We are now taking it in our own hands, and we are going to start doing our marketing and promoting and putting these on buses and putting these in schools, putting these in barbershops, putting these in black hairdresser shop, and doing workshop on teaching that we must love one another and support one another as a community, you know.
Yeah.
Hello?
The thing is, right, DJ,
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is correct, but you know what? It's a lot to do with mindset and a lot to do with jealousy, whether we like it or not. There is no reason why we are not, as far as I'm concerned, billion-dollar businesses.
Come on.
Right? Yes, I understand trying to get a grant for a black business. Listen, I don't care. All the propaganda, all the marketing out there and all the things they reckon they will do is literally non-existent. We've only got a couple that are there to really help black businesses. And I know funding is very important, but at the same time, there are also black brothers and sisters who can help, who have climbed through that ladder, who has got to a level of success that can help the others. And what I'm finding, that's where we
That
have
they
an
don't
issue.
want to. Yeah.
They don't want
They
to.
don't want to.
You understand?
I get it. Yeah.
And, you know, when I go to these events, what does it for me is meeting all these brand new brothers and sisters who are all, you know, vendors and entrepreneurs like myself, all there and present, no matter how difficult it is. And if we want to look at solutions, okay, we need a platform or platforms. We need to have an Amazon, an SD that is black.
Well, look out for let's look at for
Right?
My Black Solution. That is coming, guys, very soon. That is a black hub.
I really hope so. And it needs to be fair, because it's all well and good having these platforms, and yet still you are overpricing us, or you are not treating us, you know, with the respect as professionals. Because all your callers, and you've asked every one of your callers, have you stopped going into black shops?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, today I went into a black shop. It's a new one with my sister, and I was all up for, let's go and have this Nigerian lunch. The way the young lady came out to us and behaved, I said to my sister, no, bye-bye. Let's walk down and find another black shop. So there is a lot of this, it almost feels like animosity to each other. The lack of customer service, it's like, well, you're black and you're just going to have to take it attitude that goes on, you know. And it's so hurtful, because I believe every black brother and sister on a whole, they want to be united. They want the
Come on, definitely. We do.
It is hard. It is hard work. And
we do.
Even in my business, one of the things that was brought to my attention just last week that I lost my head about was, they said, you know what? Your company would do really well if you had a white person in front.
Oh, come
on. And I was like, you what?
Come on. Behave. Behave. Come on. Come
you
on.
Know? And that was from a black brother. And I was like, hang on a minute. Instead of you who's in position to help me, you're telling me to get a white person to put in front. What is that about? So it's a mentality thing.
Oh, no, definitely. It is.
You know?
Definitely. So. But, you know, I definitely appreciate you definitely calling. But please, as well, I know you're live online as well and watching it. Can you put your business... Come on, guys. If you got a business, black-owned business, put it in the chat as well. Put your social media. Let people find you, because I know you've got great business, and I want people to support you. And I want the listeners out there to support your business as well. I've interviewed you on the show as well. Tell people a little bit about your business before I let you go, because I know I've got callers waiting as well.
Okay. Well, my business is called Beyond Honey. I am the first to produce a Tanzania. Now we're getting our honey directly from Tanzania. Honey that's infused with the herbs and spices.
Yep.
That's really indigenous to the Caribbean heritage and tradition.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna have to let you go. I've got callers coming in,
right,
and
darling.
they're coming in quick and fast. So
wonderful.
definitely.
I'm so glad we're busy tonight, DJ
No,
Purpose.
come on. Let's do this. One love, definitely. Blessings. So callers, call in now. If you are waiting, call in quickly. We've got many callers are calling in, and wonderful to see many new listeners today in the chat. Please, guys, if you have got a black-owned business, put it in the chat. You know, definitely put it in the chat. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black Show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, you know.
I'm doing all right.
Good,
I
good,
think
good.
it's night now, innit? So how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm
Oh,
doing
okay.
wonderful. Good to hear you
Oh, okay.
on the Just Talk Black
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I'm Angel Foundation. I normally have an expo every year. I celebrate 15 years this year.
Yep.
And I normally have quite a few black businesses. But what I find with most of them, all of them, most of them is doing the same thing. And, especially with the juices, the Irish moss and the skin care. So it's I find it kind of mixed up, it confuse people. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Because most of them, I don't know if it's they see it as an easy way to do something. But I
yeah.
find it, you go somewhere and one is doing Irish moss, they're doing sorrel, they're doing, it's sorrel and Irish moss. Most of them, then they have the cream, then they have the
The
tea, but
creams.
most of them
Yeah.
is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be doing things different, you know what I mean? And you see them year in and year out, but it's not like they're really earning like a good profit and things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me, I'm an expo because I'm a charity. So I have like my sponsors, Grace Foods UK and VM Group Bank, but I'm a charity because I build IT suites and I do stuff in Jamaica. So I just think, you know
Wow.
what? I When you go to Tesco and you buy a Duns River
Yeah.
products or anything from Grace Foods UK, my charity get 20p. So I just think if I do an expo and bring the brand managers, which they're all there, in the community to embrace with the community and get the black businesses to join
Yeah.
so they can expose their business. Well, I've been doing it 5 years now, but they all come with the same things.
Same thing.
It's the
Mm,
same thing they're coming with. Even Christmas craft fair, you think they will come with something different, like to create something. It's
yeah.
the same thing. They set the table the same way and they put the stuff on. Sometimes they travel with too much things neither. I would have think if you're going to a craft fair or expo, you would look how much you can earn and take out a certain amount of stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like some of them come with 4 or 5 suitcases and you think,
Wow.
it's just for a table. So I
Yeah.
just find the black business struggle in UK, and I visit a lot of the pop-up shops them too, and it's just the same thing.
Same thing. I've been to a lot
Yeah,
of black events as well, pop up and
yeah,
vendors, and I've seen a lot of people, and I think what I've seen at a lot of these vendors event is that a lot of us struggle and just start a business,
yeah.
but we don't. How can I put it? We don't spend enough time investing in ourselves in the business and learning the business. So
Correct.
we just sort of
That's
just go into it and we run in it. But when you're going to the business, you also have to take the time to learn the structure of your business and look at other people
yeah.
who are doing the business and see how you can now take it up to another level. And I've seen some of the displays where the displays are just everything's just throwing on the table. There's no
Just to another.
organization.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
so correct. Yeah, it's the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean,
The
it's the
soaps,
same
yeah,
thing.
the soaps. I've seen a lot of people doing the soaps and the Irish moss, the
The same
drinks.
soap, black soap, and the same. When you go, they only have like a different buckle with that's doing Irish moss, the one where you can mix our thing. It's
Yeah,
just the same thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If you if you were to go to a craft fair where you have white Europeans, they're all doing something different.
different.
Well, yeah, but most of the black businesses, that's what they're doing. I
Yeah,
don't know if it's easier or they think they can save on stock or things like that, but most of them is doing the same thing.
And I've seen what you're doing. You're doing good things out there, and I really do appreciate you calling out. I've been seeing on social media what you're
Yeah,
doing. I really do appreciate, and you're doing wonderful things in the black community. I must just put that
yeah.
out there
Thank
to
you,
you.
thank you.
You know,
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah,
and definitely.
thank
So,
you.
what do you think the solution is then? I know you've said it. What do you think the solution is?
It's like I had a group and I put to them and said, look, okay, for instance, like me, I'm having an expo.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are going there to expose your products. You're supposed to be marketing where you're going to be, the area where you're going to be in, what you're going to be selling. And then you can, invite your friends, your family, but you got to market yourself. But most of them don't do that.
Hmm.
They will
Yeah,
hire a table, and that's it. I mean, I normally work, although I have my sponsors, and when they support is to buy my laptops or stuff to bring to Jamaica. But me, I'm very worried if they don't sell anything. So you find what I've been doing the last 5 years when I'm having my event. Like I try to target the local community. So mean everybody.
Yeah.
Not just the black community. So at my event, you have a diversity of people, especially in Tottenham. In Tottenham Hill is very vibrant now with a lot of new couples and new apartments. So you get different people coming in. I don't just target the black people, because black business mean, if you're doing something, you want all diversity to buy it. You understand me? So
that's right.
What I normally do, I do letterboxing. I go around because the mayor support me now. I go around the park. I put posters up. Just to get their attention to be there.
Yeah.
So people can come and support them. But when they come in each year, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
They're all having the same thing.
Same thing. I get you, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's like one lady said she was gonna do T-shirts, and she do special T-shirt, but then they turn up with iris moss and sorrel. You know what I mean? At my Christmas coffee, there were two supposed to be doing sorrel alone, and then most of them turn up. They turn up with sorrel and cake. You know what I mean? And if you have 10 people doing cake and sorrel, it's not going to work.
Not going to work. Nah.
You understand what I mean by it? Yeah.
Definitely.
Some of them is good, but it just seemed like maybe this is the easy way. Oh, I'm going to do Irish, but that's not really
we have to think outside the box.
You're going to do your profits.
Yeah, we have to start thinking outside the box of what we're doing and stuff, and see what else we can go into, and
see what else they can go into. You could go into furniture into.
Yeah.
You could make like a chair. You have 2-3 chair and you bring it to expo, design.
Yeah.
So when people come there and see it, they can order it. You know what I mean? Oh, I like that. You could design a chest of drawer. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, definitely.
You could design look for I think none of them is in furnishing, but you could do something like furnitures, chair, some kind of heart. There's a guy that come every year to my event, and he sell off most of his heart paintings.
Wow!
Always they ask if he's coming, because every year he comes with different arts. Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And even the vendors themselves is buying his hearts. It's art. You know what I mean, man?
Definitely.
So
no, I appreciate it.
They have to do different things. Some of them again, they do the ceramic. You call it the ceramic.
Yeah.
They do ceramic, but they do them so tiny. And they're selling them for £100, and the price again too is too much, because if you're going to expo and you have to say, for instance, you have 300 people coming into the expo. If 100 people pass by your table, you should have something that you can sell for even $2.99 or $5.99 or $9.99. So at least 50 people buy something for $9.99.
Oh, come on, definitely. Definitely, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but they're not doing it. There was one lady came with some bags. She called it school bags, and she put some design on it. And she's selling them from £30. And I said, but people can go in a Hudson anywhere and get the same bag for $9.99.
Come on.
You know what I mean? You gotta do a promotions. Make 100 items as a promotions.
Definitely.
So for instance, okay, then you pay £50 for your table or whatever, and you have to travel. You'll work out your travel expense. So if I have 100 item, what I'm gonna do for 90, just for that, different from what you can have other stuff.
Yeah.
But have a promotion stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Like how the European them do it. You gotta have a promotion stuff for expo.
And exactly
what you tell them all the time, but they come back with the same thing.
Exactly what you're talking about. I know there's a person called, I think, V Robinson out there, put it out there that she helped a lot of black businesses and a lot of black, not just black businesses, everybody really, but I see she's doing some great work, and she's helping businesses build up and how to market and how to get out ideas. Very good person, and that's what I keep on turning back to as a black community. I think we need that education or some sort of organization that can help us from the foundation of people just starting up at black-owned businesses, of how to run a business properly, how to get it out on the market. Sometimes you ask the people, have you got a website? They say no. Have you got a business card? No. Do you know?
No, they don't. When you go to
nothing. So or they do an Instagram and they print it on the thing and they're telling you take a copy. But I said, listen, you should always have a card with a telephone number, with an email address. If somebody want to talk to you, I said, I was speaking to someone a couple of days ago. I said, I'm just going to take a picture of Instagram for what? It's not like you're Tesco. You're not Tesco. You're not Primark. Come on.
So just having an Instagram link telling the person to get in contact with you, it just don't make
Just
sense.
not
Because
making sense.
nobody's going to sit down and search for a Instagram link to contact you to buy something.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Ah.
Some of them I admire. You have a young one named Eddie Cop. He designed cups. He just done some for me for the
That from
Minister
guy
of
from
Foreign Affairs.
Birmingham.
who's coming up.
Birmingham.
Eddie Cop, he's fantastic.
Birmingham, innit? Yeah.
And
No, no.
you also have Chance Design. They design my cards every year for my sponsors.
Yeah.
You know, and I notice when they come with a card, don't care whatever situation the event is, their cards are sold.
Yeah.
You know, so they come and they do 3 cards for £12.
Definitely.
So everybody pass by and buy 3 cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
You
to.
know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to let these callers come in. I've got so much callers, but thank you for calling the Just Talk Black show.
Oh,
Really
okay.
appreciate it. Thank
All right,
you.
then I hope you can show up at my expo
Definitely
on the
will
27th
do.
of June
All right, then.
at the
Thanks.
theatre hall. All right,
All
and
right,
thanks for
then.
listening. Okay.
Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show. How can we help you today?
How you doing, DJ?
I'm
All
good.
is well. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, sorry I kept the show late. I literally just got in, but what I caught is really interesting still. So I thought, let me just throw in my little piece.
Come on.
Yeah, for the people them still.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I literally made a few points based on what I heard, and I'm just gonna read it off. With regards to the vendors that a couple of your callers are talking about, I think the onus is on the organizers to restrict the amount of same stores they have. Because to be honest, it won't make it fair, and it ends up being competition.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It's there's 2 jerk stores, 2 soap stores, 2 juice stores. It's diverse.
Yeah.
If everybody comes doing the same thing, and to be honest, you're not gonna know that
Yeah.
you're gonna have like 3 other competitors there as your people.
Just hang in
So
there
when it
1
goes
minute. I
there-
know. Just hang in there 1 minute. Sorry. Number 395, please. I will let you know when to call in. I know you've been calling and calling. 395, I will let you know to call in. As soon as I'm finished with this caller, I will give you the go ahead to call in. 395. I know you've been and you're desperately trying to get on and you've been calling. I have acknowledged your call. I'm just going to finish with this call and then I will let you come in. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, literally I'm gonna fly through it. So it was just having the organizers know, or let's having the organizers sort out the stores and the vendors. So at least, when our people bring their teams there, they can be diverse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can have more options. The second point I was gonna make was that I think you just mentioned my Black Solutions, is that we need more platforms and quality services on the platforms.
Yeah.
It's all right using everybody else's platforms and stuff because obviously they created it and it's nice and that, but if you have your own one, it ties into the sense of community. It ties into the sense of, oh, my brother's skilled in this, my sister's skilled in this. Let's push it out there, and it will make them step up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not so much about the money; it's about the care and building up the community, building up the systems that make everything operate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So well done with that thing, and I hope that a lot of the callers and the people with businesses sign up to it. So at least we know somewhere where we can go to, and look for businesses and look for services that serve our purposes.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
That's right.
Right. That ties into the community, and we need to get back to the village mentality.
Come on. I love
We
that.
need to get back to the village
Love
mentality.
that.
We've
Come
lost that.
on.
Our parents held on to some of it, and if you notice, I don't know, I was going to say most Africans, when we go to parties, it's always our parents and our uncles and aunties all connecting, dancing, playing their music, still connected to their roots. When they bring us there, we're not really connected like that. You know what I mean? We turn more European. We might go there and be shy and, not want to mix in, but there's a purpose for that. That's the village there.
Come on.
So all these events with our people and our elders there, we must go there, we must turn up, we must get involved, we must say hi to the kids over there, we must say hi to the people over there. If we can exchange numbers, it will be even better. But we need to get back to the village mentality. That there is fundamental. We're so separated, it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? You can walk past people on the street and ignore them. Don't even say hi. Don't even say hi. Your first walk could possibly be something negative. So you need to be aware and get rid of that one there straight away. You know what I mean? The next one I was gonna talk about is the bigger picture, and it connects all these other things. We need to think we need to think like China and these other communities. One mind, You know, China got an army of, well, so I've heard, China got an army of like, I don't know, 1 billion. But let me tell you, wherever they go, they send money back home. Wherever they move, the bigger picture is China must rise. Do you know before Empire, I think around the time of Empire, they tried to have, there was something about heroin where the British Empire tried to smash China. But
Mm.
hey, what? China's rising up now.
Come on.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
They've risen up now. I wouldn't say they're on a level platform, but they're making everybody else nervous. This
Mm.
one mind mentality is what is like one brain, so much power, and
Mm.
20 hands.
Mm.
So
Come on.
the bigger picture is to think like one brain. An example would be like the pyramids. When they built that, do you know how much organizational skills it took to even put that together?
Mm.
That had to be a one mind thing. Like we have to leave a monument that's gonna last forever, outlast all of us. And
Uh,
people are gonna say, well, who built that? But it's common sense. It was built in Africa, my friend. So who
Come
else
on.
do you think built it?
Love that.
Who else did the maths? Who did the maths? Who connected the dots? We're the
Mm.
mathematicians that built that. So that's something that we can see and hark back to and say, oh right, that was my people back then. Okay, cool. Maybe we can try and build it back. It might be too late, who knows? But
Yeah.
maybe you can get back to that level of infrastructure, that level of you know what I mean, constructing something that's gonna outlast us and
Come
bring
on.
everybody together.
I
You
love
know what I
that.
mean?
Definitely love that.
Yeah.
Definitely love
Right.
that.
Two more. The next one is building up wealth here. We got to use the tools they got here. The Polish man and all these Romanians, they can come here, take over the building trade, take over all these trades, send the money back to their place. You know what I mean? To invest in
Mm.
their place. But they've come together to the point where they can build wealth and they can invest here. We can
Mm.
do the same. How much money has been sent back home?
Come on.
You know what I mean? How much money has people been saying? Western Union are making a killing on commission because we're just sending 90% of our P back home, but there's not really that much structure. One or two people got structure, but the rest of it is not really structured. And you're going to give it to people kind of borderline desperate and they end up squandering it. So if there's a way where it can be organized, like, okay, cool, she's got a charity. This charity oversees projects in Africa, projects in Jamaica, projects in Mauritius. Cool. We will put money into this. And you will go over there and get the best builders and they will organize this thing. Maybe build a school here or something like that, but real organizational structure. The brains is here. We're literally in the heart of the operation. If you understand what the UK is, it's the financial center of the world.
Mm.
And we're privy to this information every day. We're privy to their tools. They're not hiding it from us. They might do, but eventually it gets out.
That's
The
right.
skills, the blueprint is there. You can learn and boom, use it to do your stuff. Everybody else that's coming into these countries and doing their thing, they're using the blueprint. They're
Yeah.
using the blueprint, they're executing, and they're off.
They're taking it back.
You
They're
understand
taking it
that?
back.
They're
Yeah.
taking it back
Yeah.
double time. You
Yeah.
go Romania now, Poland now, there's big houses over there.
Yeah.
And
Love that.
90% of building work is Polish in that. These times we've got brothers and sisters doing building courses but can't get no work. All right, cool. Put together little teams, you know what I mean? And just take on projects with black people. And then from there, obviously, you can get out there, you can build up, but do quality service. That's the most
Mm.
important. You got to do quality service.
Love that.
Otherwise,
Love
you're
these
not going to
points
get
that you're
anywhere.
bringing out. Love them. I
Yeah.
absolutely
And the
love them.
last one, sorry, I don't want to take up too much time. The last one, yeah, I think is just becoming self-aware. Becoming
Mm.
self-aware to the point of realizing who you are, what you are, why you're here, what your purpose is, what your gifts are, what your skills are, what you can do with them. If you're not hurting somebody, if you're not helping somebody, you're hurting somebody.
Come on.
And it's even worse when it's your own people.
Yep.
We're not saying go out there and do a madness, but we really need to be self-aware.
Come
We
on.
really need to see the bigger picture. And sometimes the shock of the change that needs to take place, sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's
Mm.
too much, but just talk to people. Talk to your people then. Talk to your mom, talk to your dad, talk to your cousins, talk to other men or other women or other sisters around you. And to be honest, everybody feels the same thing. This is what I believe in it. I believe everybody feels the same thing. Everybody's going through the same thing. Everybody's going through some inner turmoil, inner battle. And some people don't know how to express it. They don't know how to express it. So most of the time it's all negative. You know what I mean?
Come on. Love
But
that.
just being aware of that and being able to express it and not express it to the point where, you become dependent, but expressing it to the point where okay, it's off your shoulders, and you understand there's others like you out there,
Yeah.
and we can move forward. I might not know what to do today, but you might know, and you share that information with me. And guess what? I loved it, and I use it's like I go to the gym. I go to the gym and I train. Now I know about the gym, I know about training, but I'm always learning. I'm always going to somebody else. No, I like that workout. How do I do that? Boom, boom, boom. Next week, I'm putting it into my workout, and guess what? It turns out good. If I don't like it, I discard it.
Yeah.
But just being aware that we're out here to help each other, not hurt each other.
Come on,
You know,
love
we
that.
understand what mainstream media. We understand what mainstream media does. We understand what TV shows us. We understand all these things. But if you're self-aware, you can make a choice
Yeah.
whether you want to take it or you don't want to take it. It's really that simple. When you're watching TV show, ask yourself, what am I getting from this? What is it doing for me?
That's
It's not
right.
getting. If it's not doing anything for me, I'll turn it off, mate. You know. I'm not saying you have to be totally cut off from the system because people need to relax and enjoy themselves sometimes and let their hair down and de-stress. But understand that's only for a period. After that, you gotta get back to work.
Yeah,
Don't
definitely.
be feeding the same way you're eating junk food. Don't be taking junk from the TV. Don't be taking junk from other people talking their rubbish. And just don't be taking junk genuinely.
Come on.
You
I love
understand?
that.
Put yourself on a diet
I love
and
that.
you'll be all
A
right.
diet
You know what I
TV. Should
mean?
we call it a diet TV? Diet
Diet,
TV.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that. Diet TV.
something like that.
You know, keep
So
keep
yeah,
at the
so
junk. Keep at the junk. But I think what you're saying
keep
there
it up.
is definitely needed. And I think the
Okay.
point that you
Yeah,
hit is that we need our own
yeah,
channels. We need our own channels that we're educating our people
yeah,
on our
yeah, yeah,
on our
yeah,
social media
yeah,
stuff. We're not following these rubbish channels that are just talking about fighting and killing and stupidness
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
stupid arguments.
Just
But we're
be
talking about
aware of that.
educating and we're talking about love and we're talking about building and building wealth
Yeah,
and educating and then making the younger generation see what we're doing as older people trying to build that community, because as the older people we can talk about community, we could talk about that tribe,
mm,
but we need to feed
mm,
it down into the younger people and we need to be
of
set the
course.
example of what we're doing. And I always say
Yeah,
to people, be careful of what you're watching because your kids are watching it as well. So you might feel you're
facts.
feeding what you're watching, but your kids are watching certain things. You know, I'm going
Yeah,
to put it out there. I don't watch EastEnders. I don't watch Coronation Street. I don't watch none of them things there
it's
because,
depression,
as
bro.
you said, you're not. What are you gaining from it? What are you gaining from
Yeah,
it?
nothing. You
No,
just
absolutely
comatose.
nothing.
Yeah,
But you know what? I'm gonna have to leave it there. 'Cause I'm gonna have to get some other callers. I love your points. Your points was
yeah. No, that's
really out
fine. That's
there,
fine.
and the audience are feeling your points as well. There's a message out there that somebody love the
Yeah,
way your brother is talking. His points on his like them sort of stuff. Love it. Absolutely love it. You know. So I really do
all
appreciate you
love.
calling into the Just Talk Black show today.
Bro, it's all love, man.
Uh,
Always, man. Keep doing
Frank,
what you're doing, man. And you know what I mean. Hopefully, we reconnect. You know
appreciate
what I mean,
that.
at some time in the future. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Appreciate that. You
Yeah.
have a nice day. Take care. All right, bye.
Have a great night, bro.
So I want the caller to call back in. I know they've been calling 395 ending 395. If you call in before 395, this is your chance. Please call back in. We are waiting for your call. You know, so guys, this is the Just Talk Black show. I'm gonna put it out there. Hold on. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black show. How are you doing today?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi. It seems like it's delayed.
Yeah, I could just about hear you got your TV in the background and
All
playing.
right, let me turn it down.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I
Welcome
am
to the Just
very
Talk Black
well.
show.
I just want to congratulate you, Asha. This is a great chat show. And I commend you for kind of actually talking about this subject. It's well needed.
Thank you.
So well needed. And as you and the other brother who just you finished talking to was saying, it stems from your upbringing. And I think we have to go back to that village mentality. It's so important that we have to actually teach the younger ones. All of us on this chat show, we're grown. As my father-in-law said to me once the tree grows old, sometimes it's too late. Yeah.
Do you believe
So,
that? Do you believe that saying?
I think we're at the age now that we need to pass it on to the young people, and we need to teach them better. We need to lead by example.
That's right.
And when I mean lead by example, show respect for one another.
Come on.
I don't think a lot of us like each other. And it's sad, like one of the ladies said earlier, you know, where she went into a corporate environment and they felt because they're all suited and booted and they're earning whatever they're earning, that they couldn't actually go to her stall and support another sister. And this is what some of these businesses deal with a daily basis. Then you have some of these businesses that have no customer service at all.
Yeah.
But yet, when a white counterpart comes into their shop, hello, how are you? What would you like? And I've actually experienced that myself, where I've actually said to the person, why are you talking to me like that? If I was from a different culture, you wouldn't be talking to me like that.
Yeah.
And then she started laughing. And the sad thing is they had people, staff members, who were from different cultures working for them. So this is why I'm saying to you, we have to lead by example, because the same way I'm saying that in our household, we have to teach our young people to respect each other, love who we are, our colour, whether you're dark, whether you're light, respect, because we are one. And at the end of the day, whether you're mixed race, whether you're dark skin or light skin, they see us as black, as one person.
That's right. That's
so
right.
we have to actually somehow, whether we're teachers, whether we're social workers, we have to pour into those individuals and let them know that they're kings and queens. The gentleman just explained. Can you actually imagine the Egyptians building that pyramid? We come from royalty.
Come on.
Look at the music, our fashion sense, our hair. My mum said when she first came to this country, a lot of them didn't even know how to dress. They didn't even wash. We bring so much to the table, and it's just sad that a lot of us forget that.
But can I ask you a question? When you're saying that, and I want to put this to you. So you say a lot of us forget that, but is it that we forget it or we don't know it?
I think we deny it.
I don't think we deny it. I don't think a lot of us been told that or educated on that.
Come on.
No, honestly, I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it out there. When it's only until I really start to study my history of who I was as a black man, I heard about certain invented people who created certain things. It wasn't talked about in my school. We were taught about Christopher Columbus, Black history. All you knew
What
is
about your parents? Did your parents didn't?
My parents never really sat me down and spoke about history in that. So with that point, I get what you're saying, but there's a lot of people out there who are walking blinded, who don't know history, who doesn't know history. And some people are lucky because they do have that parents who would tell them about certain of your blackness and this and that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of us who don't know our history because it's never been taught. And before there wasn't the big internet like it is now to go and research and to do all of that. You know, you had your dictionary and them sort of thing. You'd never really had this opportunity. Now is the golden time that you can look and find anything and research and go deep really into it. Before there was just books. So you got to remember, black people, I'm not going to say all black people, but we didn't like reading books and stuff and understanding and knowledge wise, where the internet now is somebody could put out a 3-minute clip that tells you something about your history and you can take that in within a second because it's so quick, you know. But back in the days, you had to really read to understand your history. So for me personally, I'm putting it out there, I wasn't taught really about history. I knew about Bob Marley, I knew about certain other people, but
what about people like Willie Lynch?
Willie Lynch?
Yes, so he was a gentleman that actually, it was like a manual he created for the slave masters, how to destroy and emasculate a man. He was one of those individuals that really did a number on us, and we can see it's breaking down. There are some individuals like myself and like you even doing a talk show like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's trying to break that cycle. But, you know, I was privileged, as you said, and, you know, you're kind of breaking that cycle now by having this show and actually trying to make a change. And that's what I'm saying is that's what we have as an individual
Yep.
Wherever we are, whether it's in our homes, whether it's even in our churches, in our workplace, we need to stop. Another thing which I really detest is that our own black people would put down our own people in front of white people. We need to stop that. We need to stop that. And then we wonder why they have this narrative of us, like we're this Nicki Minaj, and we're just good for, the men just sleep around. They leave their kids fatherless. We need to stop. There's certain things, because we don't know much about them. If you notice in other cultures, we don't know much about them. But they're going through their stuff. But if you go in a workplace, sometimes you can hear them and you're like, or then you have your black brothers or sisters who prefer to go to another culture. Yeah? And in that particular culture, they're running down their own people like they're not black. This is what I'm saying. The lack of a love for your people, and this is what we need to bring back. We need to stop. We need to start loving ourselves.
How can we bring that back? How can we bring it back? What's the solution to bring it back?
What I'm saying. Well, wherever you're working, you're home, you sit down with your children. We go back to old school. We go to the village. We go back to the village mentality.
I want to stop you. I want to quickly just stop you right there a minute. I want to hit on that point that you said it starts in the home, and I've been hearing this saying for a long time that it starts in the home. And I'm going to put it out there. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not saying I'm saying this, but I think, is it that it's too late to be taught in the home, and now it needs to be taken out of the home and onto the streets, in a sense of building up our own schools, building up our own Saturday schools and that sort of stuff, building up our own after school clubs. And we are teaching these things in these schools. So now these parents who are, because you got to remember, the government set out a plan. And the plan is that you have your north, your west, your east, your south. Each of these certain areas where black people live are sort of in poverty. So the single parent, for my example, might have to work so much hours that when she comes in, she don't have time to sit down with her kids. Or she's at work and her son, for example, might come home and has to be the only one in the house. Now, if we take that away from the parents and say, look, there's a school, after school club, there's a youth club, there's a school that they can attend to, there's a Saturday school they can go to, and we are teaching these things. I think it needs to move away from the household. And I hear people saying, yes, it needs to be in the household. But I think we've gone so far away from the household that I think it needs to be brought onto the streets now. And then when we get now, so much people are getting this knowledge, so much people are getting this understanding of love, king, educating now they go back into the house and start teaching, saying, Mum, this is what I learned. It's about loving us, and it's about Africa. Did you know that this person invented? I think we need to take it away from the house. And I keep on hearing people saying it starts from the house. But if, for example, I've been growing up with no education of my black history, I'm just giving you an example. If I've been not growing up in my house, or my parents don't know about history, how can it start from in the house if my parents don't know? And I keep on hearing people saying we need to start in the house. I don't think it needs to start in the house. I think it's people like me, you, and other people out there that needs to come together and form a school, form community, form these village that we keep on talking about. But the village ain't in the house, it's out of the house.
And you're right, Asha. And this is why I said wherever we're working, we need to do that. So if you're a social worker, a teacher, but again, we need to love it. There's no point us saying, we need to set up these schools, but we still need to pour that love and love each other, because like you said earlier, very earlier, sometimes we don't even like having a business together. There's that crab in the barrel mentality. So we need to start from the root down and have get-togethers, like you're having these conversations. And, actually trying to educate. We can even educate people right now what we're doing.
That's right.
Discussions like this. And get them to kind of read more, even go on internet, whether it's on AI or whatever. But you have to be mindful what you see on social media.
Yeah.
But, go out there and research. But like it's really a village mentality. The home is not just a house what you live in. it's that village, your uncle, your auntie, the teacher, everyone in there, and we have to come together. The other cultures are doing it. I work in a local authority, and I make what I got within my household, and I'm quite blessed. It wasn't perfect. No family is perfect, but I thank God how I was raised.
Yeah.
I pour that into them young people.
Which is good.
And I pray for them, Asha.
Yeah.
Because the world that we live in right now, some of those kids that you read about it, you see it on social media, you don't know what's happening in their mind. It's a different mindset.
Different.
And this is
Totally.
why I say the love, we've got to pour love into them. Because there's some bright young people out there.
100%.
Sometimes it's what they've been told. Oh, you're good for nothing. You're just like your father. You're just like your mother. These things we need to stop. We need to speak life into the children now. So when you see a young person, don't just make that judgment. Call them aside. What's going on, son? What's wrong? You're all right, Queen. Call them by King and Queen.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm not going to keep you up. But I also want to I went to a lovely takeaway restaurant in St Newington. It's a vegan restaurant on the corner of St Newington High Street by the police station. The food is amazing.
Wow.
The service
Come on.
is top notch.
Come on.
I believe some black people, let me rephrase it, some black people don't like serving their own. There is and I don't know if that's slavery, that can be another conversation.
Another conversation, yeah, definitely.
Somewhere like Selfridges or whatever, sometimes you've got to make that person feel comfortable for them to serve you. It's like, you know what, I'm not going, you're going to think you're too nice because you're buying this. It's a mentality.
Yeah.
But going back to that shop I went, she was amazing. We went in there and, you're right, King, to my husband, you're right, Queen, what would you like?
Come on. And that's what it should be. Come on.
Yes. Right by the corner of St Newington, where the police station is. I highly recommend. If anyone, healthy food. And it wasn't just soursop. She did a drink.
I think I've seen it on social media. I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Fruit juice and something else I can't remember. Lovely. You pay for what you get. Quality.
Yeah.
Asha, thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
God bless you.
Is it the first time you've been on the Just Talk Black show?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Yeah, will do.
Love and what you've said today is such a blessing, and I'm glad that what you've said, and you know the listeners out there listening to what you're saying. I think what you've said, you've hit so much things on the nail.
Yeah, when we see each other, come on, guys, on this chat.
Definitely.
Hold each other up, man.
Come on.
Good morning.
Definitely.
Even if you think the person's mad, just make somebody's day.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
do it when we're on holiday. I do it all the time.
Well, come on.
You know what I mean? But, I don't know what it is with us. We've got to start loving each other, man.
Oh, appreciate it. Please subscribe to us and like us as well. Like the channel as well. Do push the channel out, and we need your support. People like yourself, we need that support to grow this channel and to put it out there. Without you guys, without the community, we can't grow. So we need your help. Please, guys, push it up. Get the likes up in the chat as well. And I really do appreciate
I look
it.
forward to you doing an event.
Definitely.
God
Look out for it. Look out for it.
Yeah.
February
Right.
February the 13th. Look out for that. February the 13th. I've booked the venue. I will let you guys know more about it. Definitely. Love.
All right, take care.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Please caller, I know caller just missed the call, and let me get that number 234 ending 234. Please call the show back. I know you've called a couple of times. Please call us out. What a show we are having today, guys. What I'm going to ask you to do, please, guys, we need your support. Hello, welcome to the Just Talk Black Show. Just give us 1 minute, please. Please, just give us 1 minute. So, guys, what I'm asking you to do is please take a minute. 1 minute, guys, it's going to take. If you are new, subscribe to the channel. Also, like the channel as well. It's literally, if you're watching from YouTube, and if you're not watching from YouTube or you're watching from LinkedIn or anywhere else, go to YouTube and just tap that thumbs up button. What it does, it pushes it out as a like. When we finish this show, it will go live directly, I say, guys, live straight away onto YouTube. So we need your help to push this channel out. What a conversation we are having today. You know, why is it that we're not supporting our own black community? Hello, caller. Welcome to the Just Talk Black show.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm doing good. I can't complain.
Good. What would you like to say to the audience today?
So I mean, to be fair, I think it's a combination of things, and all the callers that I've called in so far have actually made really good points. And all of them, I think all of them are right in what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I think one of the main problems, or one of the bigger problems, is that a lot of our people aren't seeking for things within the community. So it's not uncommon to hear someone say, "Oh, but black people aren't doing nothing." And it's like, no, you and the black people you're around aren't doing nothing. I go to events all the time, and it's just black people galore. My feed is filled with things happening every other week. I've got group chats going off every other weekend, every other month. Someone's planning something. People are planning stuff today for December. So it's not a matter of us not doing stuff. It's a lot of our people aren't invested in the community. And with that being said, it's because a lot of people are more consumed with a proximity to whiteness than black pride and black liberation. So they want to have a level of connection with the white construct as it stands, and don't want to put in the work that is required for black people to uplift themselves. So that means if you have to spend a little bit more money, because oftentimes when we create products, when we create services, we tend to do it at a higher standard. Not all of us, because we know some people out here are just here to make a money, but a lot of us come with an intention. And because of that, we have to source things from back home. So then you have to consider taxes and importation. And we know, okay, I've got a standard. I'm not out here trying to be like the cheap one of these shops that are just selling something for £5 or £7. I'm giving you quality product or service. So it's more expensive. But a lot of our people don't want to put money towards it. They want things and they want hands out.
Can I go back to a question, a phrase that you just said a minute ago? You said black people are not looking into certain things. I'm going to rephrase it in a way that I've taken it, that you're saying that we're not going and finding these events or these community or these products. Is that what you just said before?
Yeah, like people are not being intentional.
So with that, and I want to go back on that point because that's interesting that you say that. I can agree with you on part of it.
Okay.
But part of it, I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because myself, as Just Talk Black show, find it very hard to find community groups, in a sense. For example, people are in, say, maybe this WhatsApp group or that WhatsApp group. I find it very hard to find where these WhatsApp groups are sometimes. And I know the internet's there, and I know I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, YouTube. But it's hard to find some of these organizations. It's not, the marketing is not good. And you have to remember, when it comes down to social media, who is controlling the social media? Not black people.
Right.
Who's controlling the algorithm? Not black people. So it's only going to push what it wants to push to you. So this is why I think in part of what you're saying, yes, people don't look into certain things or know about events. You know, like my sister, I got a sister, and she would say, I didn't hear about that event. I didn't know about that event. But if she's not on social media, it's very hard for people. And certain people don't want to be on social media. They don't like social media. So I always believe in that as black people, we're too scattered. And we're scattered on these platforms that are not doing us any good. So example, we need our own Facebook. We need our own YouTube. We need these social media that it doesn't have an algorithm not to push it out to, say, us as black people. But now we have our own platform. Everybody in that platform gets that same message. It's not saying, well, you're not having it, you're not having it, you're not having it, you're not going to have it. It's pushing it out to the biggest audience. Everybody's on that platform get a notice of, maybe, say, you're putting on an event, and everybody in that community now on that thingy board, social media thing, is getting that information that you're putting on an event. It's not choosing and saying, well, I'm only going to push it out to maybe 100 people. I'm not going to push it out no more to the 4K, to the 50K. I'm only going to push it out to maybe like 40 people. That's it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying with that point, I can agree on a little bit that sometimes we
Yeah.
don't do our hard research and look into certain things. But me as a black channel, I
Yeah.
find it very hard to find that. Well, I never knew about that event, and I'm in the black community. I go to
Right.
many events. I chat to many people, and many people. I know a lot of black owners. I know a lot of black vendors. But it's sort of only the same sort of people who are putting on events.
Do you know what? That was going to bring me on to my next point, actually. So, okay, so
Go ahead.
I'll go off of what you were saying about like the groups are not really publicized enough, which I can actually agree with. I don't know if it's a matter of we don't do enough to put ourselves out there, or if it's just a matter of alignment, because a lot of the groups I didn't like plan to look for group.
Yeah.
I would go somewhere, meet someone, and now I'm in a group.
Okay.
So I couldn't even really give advice as to how does one get into a group, because it really didn't happen by intention per se.
Yeah.
So the intention was to go to the space, find like-minded people, and then now maybe I've decided, let me get a stall at this place. That person started a group chat. I've gone and I've said, let me go into this room, hear what they're saying because they've invited me. Now I'm in a group chat there. So I feel like to a degree, it's us putting ourselves in spaces and it will naturally fall into place. But even with that, there are a lot of people that if I tell them about something, they'll be like, well, why don't I see this?
Come on.
I can say yes, in part, it's because we're not publicizing, but at the same time, if you go on that person's feed, it's a whole bunch of shade borough. It's a whole bunch of toxicity, whole bunch of drama, whole bunch of this person that slept with this person's baby father in some other part of the world that you don't even know about. You're not actually, my algorithm is tweaked. So when things come up, I'm not looking for them. It's tweaked on purpose. People aren't tweaking their algorithm. So I think it's on both sides. Yes, we're not publicizing, but at the same time, when we are, and those of us that are, a lot of us aren't putting ourselves in a space to receive the information.
When you think about what this person is saying on here, we tried that creating our own platform. It was hard to get funded and supported. We did this in the late 90s, early 20s, and it was hard. What do you think about that?
So, okay. Yes, the funding thing is like, nobody can argue with that. Starting a business, you need money. You can't start it with air, right?
Yeah.
So I completely get it. I myself have my own business. I'm pushing, moving forward. You can't do it on water and air, right? I'm not discrediting that fact. But at the same time, we cannot depend on funding from the system because the system's not going to give us money. It's not that they don't have it. It's not that there's no resources to give it to us. It's because the system that is created requires Black people at the bottom to function. They start giving us money, their system collapses, and everything that they've built goes to shit. Excuse my French. So we can protest, we can write letters, we can ask for policy changes, we can get people in power, we can do whatever we can hold our breaths till our faces turn blue. They're not giving us money because it goes against their own interests.
That's right.
That's the bottom line of it. I'm not telling nobody, if you have this desire in your spirit and you feel your purpose is to write a letter, your purpose is to be involved in the political movement, I'm not saying don't do that. I don't know what your purpose is. But when we look at their systematic, anyone that starts a business, you have the blueprint. You know what you want from your business. You know where you want your business to go. If someone comes to you and says, hey, I hear what you're saying, but I need your business to go this way, because I think it will be better this way. If that completely goes against your spirit, your intention, your motives, your building, your structure, your plan, your blueprint, you're not going to do it. It might not be a bad idea what they're suggesting, but you're not going to do it because that's not your blueprint. So how are we expecting them to give us the very thing that destroys them?
Come on.
We're the only ones that are out here acting against self-interest. So when we're saying there's no funding, I agree, they're not giving us money, but there are 4 million Black people in the UK. £1 times 4 million, what is that?
Come on.
£1 times 10,000. £1 times 1,000 people.
Come on.
But I don't know 1,000 people. Okay, then you start with the 10 people you know today. You say, guys, I'm creating a whatever it is. I just need 10. When I started my thing, I had my 5 family members and 3 friends behind me. I just had to go with it. Then you have to put yourself out there. You go to certain places, start with spending £10 here, £20 there, £30 there, £50 there. You don't start these things overnight. We're in a rush to get to the final destination, but we didn't get into this place overnight. It took 400-500 thousands of years, if you count the Arab slave trade, for us to be where we are. So why do we think that it's going to suddenly reverse itself in the space of a week, a month, or a year? It's not. So I'm not saying we don't need money. I'm not saying we don't need support and funding. I'm just saying we need to stop asking our oppressor and our abuser for help.
Come
They
on.
cannot and will not. It's black and white. They cannot give us what we need
They
because
ain't
it
gonna.
goes against what they need.
Yep, they ain't gonna do that.
So that we have to accept that. We can look at it every which way you want to, but the grass is still green, the sky is still blue, and it's still going to rain tomorrow. That's
Go,
just what it is.
GoFundMe and other funding raising platform. Definitely
Yeah,
agree
we
with
could do.
that.
Somebody could even decide to say, do you know what? I'm going to start my own banking institution or whatever.
Come
We
on.
have things like the partner system and stuff like that. Start that for business. Like there's bare stuff we could be doing in the community, I suppose. And this goes back to what I was saying about our proximity to whiteness. We've internalized a lot of the capitalistic traits in thinking we need money from their system, in thinking we need to operate the way they operate. And it's not intentional. It's not, something we've planned and sought out to do. It's a lot of our own conditioning that's come from over the years. So we think that we need to ask them for help when actually what we need to be doing is walking away from them. We need to be detaching from them.
And I'm going to put that way you just said that is so clear. And I always say it like this: as people and as a black community, we don't know how powerful we are, because
Right.
when we are united as one, it's like this. I say to people, the government, you bought a car, you paid tax to have that car on the road. Right, you've done your MOT, you've done your insurance. Now they want to charge you for going through the Blackwall Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Now they want to charge you to go into, say, the West End and stuff. Hold on,
Right.
you've just paid insurance. You've paid your
Yeah.
MOT, you pay your tax. What's your tax to be? Your tax is to be on the road.
Right. So now you're paying more road tax.
Now
on
you're
top of
paying.
road
Now
tax.
you're paying another fee on top. And as human being, we are saying we accept that. If
Right.
everybody in this country was to say, whether you're black,
No.
Indian, Chinese, whatever
You just
you
said
are,
no.
and you said we are not paying this,
Right.
what could they do? What, take everybody's car away from them? Fine everybody?
There's not enough of them to do that to all of
There's
us.
not enough, but people don't understand that this brain mentality that they've enslaved them little bit by little bit, that they can say we are now making a new law that is going to say this and this. But hold on, we are the law. As people,
Right.
we are the law.
Right.
So why don't we just say, we're not going to have this as people? And that's the mentality that, as you said, we are now going to these people and saying, oh, we need help. We need funding. I get it. We do need these help and we do need certain things, but look in your own community first. And it might be hard to get it from certain community, but there's people out there and there is ways. I know somebody went on a course and, just putting it out there to that person, big shout out to them, but they went on a course and they got funded from going on a course. And and that company was able to help them buy certain stuff. But if you don't know about these sort of things, how would you know? But this is a person doing their research and going into certain things and doing what they need to do. There is ways out there for us to start our stuff, even starting our own platform.
Yeah. And
it's not hard nowadays to start a platform, to be honest. It doesn't cost that much.
Yeah.
AI is coming in so quick and fast. You can build a platform within 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You could build a website within 5-10 minutes now. AI is such a quick way out there that you can put it out there so quick and get people to come on your platform and maybe pay you £1, maybe pay you 50p. You get 1,000 people, as you said, you get £1, and every that pound grows to be certain things. There is ways, but we just need to use our word very carefully as black people. And I think I was watching a channel, I can't remember what the channel was. I know what the channel is, but I'm not going to put it out there. And they were saying that words that we use nowadays is like spells.
Yeah.
So we're saying we need. We don't need, we have. We should be saying we have. So words are very powerful that we are using nowadays. And I think we need to re-educate ourselves and say we have that within us. We are gods, we are kings, we are queens. We have these things. We just need to believe in ourselves. Self-belief.
Right.
Self-belief. And even if you have to start small, instead of trying to do this whole big company straight away, start small, start baby steps, start putting things out slowly and build it up. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. But I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah, no. So in fact, it goes on to where we're saying we need to start building certain things. I think one or two of the callers have made a point to say, like, people are building a lot of the same stuff. So you see everybody's doing this particular skincare, everyone's doing this particular juice, this particular food or whatever it is. And it comes down to a lot of people these days in our community are not making money to be innovative and to create and to build something. They're making businesses to make money. So they're just going, oh, this person's made money doing that, I'm going to do the same thing because there's money to be made in that industry. That's not going to bring you success, and that's not going to give us what we need. Because you're not purposed to go and make that juice. You're not purposed to go and start that type of company doing clothing or to get onto marketing. That's not your thing. There's money to be made in that, yeah, but you're not meant to have a piece of that pie. Your purpose might be to go and start that construction company.
Come on.
Your purpose might be to go and start that delivery company. Your purpose might be to go and build that laptop company. You're in tech, you can do that. You're in engineering, you might be out here supposed to go and build some structure back home in Ghana, but you're too worried about this place don't have money, or that's where I saw money moving in that direction. So you're chasing the money as opposed to following your purpose. So we cannot be getting what we need in a community that's like I said, we've internalized capitalistic ways. So we're not looking at purpose, we're just looking at where the dollar signs or the pound signs or whatever is going. Where is the financial monetary gain to be had?
Yeah.
And that's working towards our own detriment. Because in 10, 20 years, you're going to have 50 million juice companies. You're going to have 35,000 different skincare cosmetics. And don't get me wrong, we need these things. It's not to say we don't need these things. And there is enough room for all of us. Because what I make, what you make, and what the guy next door makes, they're all going to be different and they're all going to align with different people. But the market in a lot of things is oversaturated. And so now what we have is we have too much of one thing. It's a lot of copycat behavior, and no one's actually thinking to say, what can I do? What do I want to see? If you're sitting there, like we're sitting here, we're saying, oh, we have all of these things that we need. There's nothing stopping any of us from saying, do you know what, cool. Let me be the one to go and get my delivery van tomorrow. I'm in one WhatsApp group. Let me put the post out and say, guys, I'm doing deliveries in East London, in South London, in West London, between 8 and 6. I'm charging X amount per hour. You start it that way.
Yeah.
And then as people are using you more and more and more, then you say, okay, cool. Now I'm at a point, I know my nephew, he's just passed his driving test. I've got my little brother, he just passed his driving test. My son just passed his driving test. Now it's called Babatunde and Sons. And they've got their driving thing going on. And now he's got his son, his son's like, oh, dad, my boy just passed too. All right, cool. As long as he's got his license, we do things by the book. Now you start creating your own thing. You then say, let me build a website. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
We're worried too much about the end point. And we're not realizing that you have to take baby steps.
That's right.
To get to that end goal. We want it now because we see we need it now. But 10 years is still going to go past. And in 10 years, you're either going to be in a place that's different or be in the same place saying shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Definitely. Yeah.
You know, the problem isn't what we don't have. The problem isn't what we're lacking. The problem is a lot of us are focused too much on the wrong things, or we're always worried about what if it doesn't work. Okay, well, then it doesn't work. In fact, a good example right now is what's happened with PlantMade, that their business went into admin. A lot of people are having their own 2 pence to put on that business. But we can all learn, if nothing else, you can learn from what she did to know, okay, that's not what I do. She might not be able to tell me exactly what to do, but she can tell me what not to do. A lot of the time, we're looking for someone to give us the path of what do I do. Sometimes you look at what you don't do. So at least it rules out, okay, well, I saw that business do that. That didn't go well. Okay, I saw that other person try that and that flopped for them. So I know I'm not going to do what them two man did. So let me try something else now. Instead of looking at what we should be doing, asking someone to say, how did your path get there? We need to be saying, I need to make the path. I need to pave the way. Sometimes the blueprint isn't there. We're making the blueprint. And by complaining about it and asking for it, the blueprint's never going to manifest itself.
Come on, definitely.
So 5 years, 10 years, our children, our grandchildren are going to go past and talk about what we should have, what we could have, what we need. And it's because everybody's saying, I want, I need, we can get, but nobody's actually doing. Especially in the Black British community, our community is being built now. We are in its infancy. So we don't have, because we've not been here as a greater community. I don't want to hear people tell me my ancestors were here since 1700. I'm not saying they weren't. But in the mass numbers that we are here today, we have never been in the United Kingdom in the numbers we have been. And we have to understand, we're battling the enemy on their home turf. We're not battling them on our turf. We're not battling them on next man's turf. It's their turf. So what makes you think the them that did the madness to us, that have us in the position we're in, on their land, are going to give us any kind of reprieve?
None at all.
You just have to
Not
deep
at
it.
all.
So
Yeah.
the struggle is going to be, in fact, harder than other members of the diaspora, because those of us in Europe are fighting on the lands of the very people that are the enemies. We're fighting the enemy in his face on his land. So when we're asking for this stuff, I'm not saying it's impossible. I personally don't think it will get us anywhere. I think we need to work smarter, not harder.
Come on.
But we have to understand, we're trying to play checkers, and them man are playing. We're not even playing checkers. We're playing dominoes, and they're playing chess. We're out here saying, why are we not winning the game? Because you're not even playing the game.
Come on.
We have to be deep in things for what they are and accept things for what they are. We actually have to be thinking about, okay, cool, this strategy hasn't worked. What do we do? And we need to be actually not being so loud about things. We have this tendency to want everybody to know everything and what we're doing. And then we post it on social media. And now we're like, oh, this person saw us, or this op came along. You only announce what you need to announce. So if tomorrow you've got a store, you announce the store. Nobody needs to know you're planning the store from last year. People need to know maybe in December, so they can get tickets in March. People need to know maybe after you've booked the venue, this is what's going on.
That's what's going on, yeah.
We talk too much too quickly.
That's right.
You know, and then that's where all of the things go wrong, because the enemies are in a community. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of people are more concerned about their proximity to whiteness than they are about black liberation. They're not willing to give up their seats at the white table for the seats of all black people to become available. They're not willing to build the table. They'd rather sit at the table, even if it means only accepting crumbs. And that's the majority of our community. So if we are sitting here expecting, and I get it, it's not nice, you're in a space, you're thinking, I'm not here to do nothing to you, support a sister. But we actually have to understand, these people had to look at people in government today. Yeah, we've got people that look like us in government saying a whole heap of something, and we're looking like, who birthed you, bruv? Because why? They had to sacrifice their blackness to sit where they're at.
Come on.
So they cannot be true to themselves because it goes against everything they've had to build.
I love that.
That's the hard truth about it, you know? So I'm not saying we don't need certain things. I'm saying we're going the wrong way about getting these things. We're asking the wrong people to help us get these things, and we're looking in the wrong direction. If we see what we need, we don't have, then we need to create it from scratch. We can't expect handouts. It would be nice, sure, of course, everybody would love a handout, but we all know that's just not how life goes. Whatever we are implementing on an individual basis for ourselves, when we're saying we're going to therapy, we're doing the healing journey, we need to implement those things on a collective level. So,
and that's the point, what you're saying, on a collective level, we need to start. And I think it's something that we need to start now. But what we need to start is, I think we're too separated. As a black community, we're too separated. We're all over the place. We're scattered.
But we don't need to worry about the people that are scared. We need to worry about the people that are coming together.
Well,
How many of us have called today with similar mindsets? Why are we worried about the people that want to stay asleep? Stay asleep. Let the truth dribble from your mouth. Stay there.
Let them stay there.
There's plenty of us in the community making moves, doing what we're doing. We put our stepping stones together, we get to where we need to go, and then as we move along the journey, we meet more people along the way. You meet other people coming from different directions. You might find someone that in 5 years' time, they're where you were 5 years ago. So we're having this conversation today in 2026, in 2030, somebody can come along and say, yo, DJ, how did you start your thing though? I've been trying, but I don't know where to start. You just tell him, I did A, B, and C. You can try it too. If it works for you, great. If not, you find a different way. You put that person on. And I think that's another thing we need to do. We need to stop being a little bit cliquey in the black community. A lot of us talk about, we need to come together. But I've been in many spaces where it's very cliquey behavior.
Come on.
It's very much, I know this person. I know that person. I'm used to this person. I'm used to that person. And then nobody gives new people a chance. Nobody wants to get to know this other person.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's also something that we need to put a pin on as well. Like where that I get it. We know we found our tribe, but you can't be complaining about people not coming up and doing something when people are trying to come up and do something.
And you're not allowing them.
You're not giving them an opportunity. You're not holding space. You're not going to their event just because, I know this person already. I don't know you. How are you going to get to know the person?
People are saying they love you, people giving you some love. So I'm saying we need a whole show with you, sis. Come on,
listen. You know I'm ready, man.
People saying I love this sister. She's right. We don't need to worry about these things. Come on, people are loving what you're saying. Anyway, you're coming on the show, so you're definitely coming.
In a few weeks, man.
We soon got you on the show, so But I love what you're saying. And I'm going to really hold it there because we've gone way over the time today. Such a powerful show, you know, definitely a powerful show. And I'm going to be doing a part 2, definitely a part 2. And I'm going to have to invite you back to be probably one of the first callers, you know. So I'm going to leave it there for today because we've gone way over the time. But it's just one of those. Today, it's just one of those conversations that, you know, as I said, I'm going to have to do definitely a part 2 and maybe have one or two people on the panel and do like a big probably panel discussion and calling lines and, you know, yeah.
No, for real, definitely. Big up yourself though, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Enough love. You did put your company. I see you put your company in the chat. And
I put it in, but I'm Original Goddess Earth Energy. Original Goddess Earth Energy, and I'm gonna put it back in the chat again.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find you in the chat. If I can find it,
it might be a bit back because a lot of people.
No, come on, a lot of people's been saying a lot of stuff.
Type it.
Here it is.
I found it.
Hold on, let me see if I can bring it up. It's like there. So they can find you on LinkedIn, is it LinkedIn?
Instagram.
Instagram.
I've just put it in the chat again. Oh, it's from our other YouTube, but still.
Okay.
I've just put it in the chat again, but it's from Instagram. It's the same name.
Yep.
You can go on my website as well. You can find me on TikTok as well. I'm there.
Yeah. And you've got an event coming up. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I do actually.
Come on, don't leave that your event. Come on.
So I've got a workshop coming up in early April. It's all about, so I'm currently working through the chakras. So I'm a massage therapist, crystal therapist, and a Reiki master.
Yeah.
And I have a background in nursing and a master's in biomedical sciences. So I'm putting all of that together to merge spirituality and science.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm doing workshops at present working through the chakras. So I've done the root chakra and the sacral chakra, and I'm doing the solar plexus chakra next, where we're looking at the body, the mind, the spirit, energy, the electromagnetic field, understanding how our body's communicating with the internal, external, how it's blocking our paths to abundance, how it's stopping us from getting to where we need to be, and how we actually can implement certain stuff in our day-to-day lives, and what we actually need to do to channel that energy. So yeah, that's going to be the 5th of April. That's Easter Sunday that it's going to be on.
Yeah.
And anyone that just goes on my website, you'll be able to see it there. On my Instagram, you'll see promo for it there as well. And then people can always just like message me and find out more if they want.
Love that. Absolutely love that. You know, appreciate you. Yeah, and thank you for coming on Just Talk Black Show again. Really appreciate you. Send me your flyers. We'll post it out and put it out there to people.
No problem. Definitely.
Love that.
And and people could check out my YouTube channel as well. Because I've got clips and stuff of some of my talks and workshops that I've done, so people can people have got a feel from this, but people can still see how the workshops go.
Workshops and stuff. I love that. Yeah. Absolutely love that. So there again is where you can find as well. Is that the same as your YouTube channel? Yeah.
The YouTube channel is Original Goddess Educates.
Oh, Original God Educate. Okay, people's got that. All right, thank you for coming to Just Talk Black Show. We've gone way past the hour today.
Have a good day.
Same to you. Blessings. All right, take care.
All right, bye.
And that's it, guys. Literally, that is it from the Just Talk Black Show today. What a show. What a show, peeps. You know, and to all the listeners out there, I really appreciate you guys in the chat today. You have been amazing. Big up yourself. Enough love to you guys out there, as always, showing up for the show as well. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. It helps us push this out. Come on. This is what it's about. Tonight's like these are nights for the community to have their say, phone in and talk about the subject as well, which is powerful. You know, many things that we talked about today, it's just so powerful, you know, and hopefully today is not just something that we talk about, but hopefully somebody who's listening, somebody who watches this, we'll start doing some action points and start doing some solutions, because it's not just about talking about them, but it's about solution. As I say to people, check out myblacksolution.com, soon to be launching. Look out for that one as well. And let me see if I could bring up where you can find us as well. So here is the My Black Solution WhatsApp group. We've got a Black men's group in that, and you've got the Black Hub in that. That's a WhatsApp group. So join that WhatsApp group. I'll say to people, join that WhatsApp group, scan the QR code, or you can type nas.io/My Black Solution. New WhatsApp group out there that we're trying to get everybody onto that one WhatsApp group. So then we can start doing projects within the Black community. We can start building as a Black community, because this is what it's about. It's about solutions, not about the problems. Yeah, we have the problem, but what's the solutions? My thing is always, what is the solution? And I think today, you know, we've touched on many things, and hopefully the audience out there, you can take away and learn from this as well, of what solutions we need to start doing. And some for the business owners listening as well, hearing from what people are saying. What can you implement today to start improving your business as a Black owned business? If you need help on marketing, social media, those sort of stuff, finding out people within the Black community can help you push that and get your marketing a lot better. And one thing I would say to people as well is definitely look out how you are building your website nowadays. Be very careful how you are building your website, especially your apps as well, because the AI now is doing a lot of the searches, and if the AI don't recognize your search of your website or your app, you will not even get notified. So that's one thing I did learn about building websites and stuff. This new thing with the AI, if it doesn't recognize you or doesn't have AI implemented in your website or app, when people go to Google search or ask AI for a certain company, it will not even know anything about your company. So these are things that we need to start learning and sharing as a Black community, you know. So definitely, guys, I just really want to thank you guys definitely for showing up on the Just Talk Black show. And let me show you about next week's guest, if I could bring that up as well. Wow, we talking about Black leadership in education. A deputy head is coming on to the Just Talk Black show to tell us about the Black leadership in education. Is there enough Black teachers within the education system? We will be having this guest on the show, the Just Talk Black show, next week, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. guys, next week Thursday. And as I say, if you would like to get on the Just Talk Black show as well, the phone number is the same phone line that you called in today, which is 07471539533. We are now opening space for people who want to get on the Just Talk Black show and have a conversation and talk about your business and what you do, or your testimony of how you survive through certain things you're going through in life. Testimonies are always important. And guys, these are where you can find me on social media. You can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. And as I said, the website is soon to be launching as well for the Just Talk Black show. So thank you guys for watching, you know, the Just Talk Black show. What a privilege it had to all the guests who phoned in and everybody in the chat as well. Appreciate you guys.
Something calling me. Hey.
Why we living but we don't know the reason. Praying every Sunday, still fighting demons. Looking in the mirror like, who am I? Is this religion or a deep lie? They told me heaven's somewhere in the sky, but my spirit feel it deep inside. Ancestors whisper in my sleep at night, saying, child, you are the light.
Fear, more than control. Your K remembers your name. You are spirit, not just flesh and bone. We're returning to spirit, turning to truth. Back to the roots, they try to remove. This ain't history, this awakening. Hear the ancestors calling me. We're returning to spirit, claiming our soul. Finding the power they try to control. Who am I? I finally see the creator lives inside of me.
Left the church but I didn't lose God. Just found him in the soil and stars. Found her in the drum and flame. In my bloodline, in my name. Diaspora child, we've been asleep. Disconnected, running from our own heartbeat. Now I feel the rhythm in my chest, like the ancestors saying you are blessed.
This is not religion, this is transformation. No, this is soul reclamation. We are not lost, we just forgot. Now we remember who we are. We're returning to spirit, returning to truth. Breaking the chains, rebuilding the roof. This ain't just talk, it's destiny, spiritual clarity. We're returning to spirit, awakening mind. Healing the past, reclaiming our time. Who am I? I finally see the carrier lives inside of me.
If you've ever questioned, if you've ever searched, if you've ever felt something deeper calling, thank you for watching the Just Talk Black show.